welcome to the School of Love, the place where miracles are normal. Hello and welcome to the School of Love, the place where we learn practical tools based on scientific research and our own experience towards improving ourselves, living life to its fullest, and contributing to the best of our abilities to the world around us. I am Dr. Grajdian and I'm a professor of media studies and anthropology at Hiroshima University. In my free time, I am doing my best to guide you in building up a life of contentment, joy, and fulfillment while applying lessons learned in school to overcome the difficulties, challenges, and insecurities of the real world. In today's video, I talk about how to reset your focus professionally in 3 simple steps. As someone who has changed the profession and the workplace several times throughout the past several decades, I know how challenging and even daunting this can be. First the decision, and then to stick with the decision to do something about it. But sometimes we just find ourselves in the wrong workplace environment for whatever reasons which might have led to that workplace environment and which might have kept us in it to start with, and we feel stuck and increasingly resentful. And experience as well as research show that staying there will only make matters worse. By the end of this video, you will have 3 simple steps to implement in changing your work environment and moving forward in life with serenity and dignity. And now, first things first, that is 2 important disclaimers. The first disclaimer serves to strongly emphasize the fact that this YouTube channel, The School of Love, is not part of my educational and research activities at Hiroshima University. It is nonetheless part of my privilege, joy, and sense of duty to propagate and implement knowledge, information, as well as motivation and inspiration outside the limited framework of academic endeavors. Together, we can build up a better tomorrow for as many of us as possible. The second disclaimer relates to the fact that I am a trained musician and musicologist, and not a psychologist, therapist, or counselor. The ideas I am sharing in my videos reflect my deep-going preoccupation with life, my own life and other people's lives, and express the results of my experiences, research, and, for better or for worse, my failures, and my recovery from those failures. Recovery which is continuously ongoing. The ideas expressed in the videos on this channel named The School of Love cannot and may not and must not replace the consultation with specialists in whichever areas of your life you might have questions or you might struggle with. If you are new to the channel, at this moment I would like to ask you to please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you very, very much. This helps us not only with that mysterious algorithm which seems to dominate the galaxy of YouTube, but also with contributing to the expansion of the community of humans doing their best to impact positively the world and those around them by discovering their authentic selves and living life wholeheartedly. Thanks again. And now let's go back to the real topic of this video, which is how to reset your focus for your profession. Some of you might know already, I have changed my profession several times throughout my life. So I've been professionally active in academia and in private environments, so in companies. I've been active in Japan, in Romania, and in Germany, and probably very soon somewhere else as well. So I have a lot of experience with changing professional environments, with changing professions. And what has helped me, particularly in recent years, let's say past 10 to 11 years, when being faced with this feeling of being stuck and not knowing what to do, and having this feeling of, I have to change something in my profession, but what and how and why, more importantly. So I have a lot of experience with this mindset, with this mental state in which you have to do something, you have to move forward, and you don't know what and how and when and why and so on. So, and in this video, I will try to give you these 3 steps, a very simple protocol, but as I said, some might argue is simple but not easy, because it has to deal with yourself and dealing with yourself in a constructive and respectful manner, right? So the first step in this setup, not in the setup, in this protocol of resetting your focus for your profession is awareness, as always. So I always say in all my videos which deal with this topic with changes, you have to become aware that you have a problem. Otherwise, you cannot solve a problem which you don't know you have. And awareness refers to this. In case of profession, you have to sit with yourself and simply ask yourself, am I happy? Am I doing what I feel called for? And what's important in this case is also to realize that we live very long lives, and the world is changing very quickly, much more quickly than we actually, as humans, as social, as biological creatures and as social animals, we can actually perceive and process. So, and if your parents, in many cases, my generation, in many cases, my parents decided my profession and the university I was going to and the department and so on, and what they have decided, even if let's assume for a moment they do it with the best intentions in their heads, the world is changing, as I said, and 20 years later, what they thought would be best for me in my life turns out not to be good at all anymore. So one has to change. So, and raising awareness or creating this awareness in yourself that you have to change your profession is an uncomfortable thought, because you have to, first of all, to deal with lots of innate fears and innate anxieties within ourselves, which us as humans avoid. First of all, for instance, if it were your parents who decided your profession, you might have to deal with the fact that, to acknowledge the fact that your parents might have been wrong. And as I said, they might have been right back then, but the life has changed, the world has changed, and what was right back then is not right anymore. And probably what is right now, what seems right now, won't be right in 20 or 40 years. And if we live such long lives, this decision to change cannot be avoided. And those who avoid it don't end up well. So first of all would be this, to acknowledge the fact that your parents might have been right. They are not. They did their best, hopefully, and to the best of their abilities, which seemed right back then, but it is not anymore. First. Secondly would be the fear of change and uncertainty, which us humans hate, like, viscerally, and from the very bottom of our reptilian brains, right? If we see something and don't understand it, we fill in the blanks until it makes sense. This is why we cannot rely on our memories. Yeah? So we face the fear of uncertainty. We face the fear of losing a lot of friends and those around us, because with change of profession, we have so many people we are friends because of our profession. So we face the perspective of losing our friends, of losing our income, of losing any sort of safety if we decide to change our profession. On the other hand, if we stay, things will only get worse, and we know this if we are very honest with ourselves. So let's say you face once this decision, I have to change something about my profession, and then you say no. Just you do all this process, you realize, I cannot essentially tell my parents they were wrong. I cannot tell my partner, if you have one, that I have to do something so radical. I cannot just leave my job, they need me. So you rationalize everything, you put it aside, and let's say 6 months later, you're facing with the same problem, but worse. Maybe you even get sick. Maybe you're fighting with everyone. Maybe the world seems to go down. And when you sit with yourself, you realize this is the reason. You are simply in the wrong profession. It doesn't make you. It's not about being happy. It doesn't give you any sense of contentment and joy in your life. So you sit with it. You know, if I avoid it any further, any decision in this point, in this matter, it will only get worse. So you have understood your problem. Yeah. Now the second point kicks in, which is let go of the need to control any outcome and of being right. So for reasons which are beneath my understanding, humans equal change with an acknowledgement of failure, of acknowledgement of the fact that I have been wrong until now. I don't know why, because this is not the case. As I said, something might have been wrong, something might have been right, and because we live such long lives, and because the world is changing so quickly, things have changed themselves too. And now we have different information, we have different life circumstances, which means we can make different decisions towards different selves, if you want. You know, like the snakes, which or who give away their skin for a new skin, I think every year or so, depending on species. So, and this innate need of being right. Again, as humans, we have this innate need of being right, of having control over things, or of filling in the gaps so that the whole picture makes sense. The second step is to let go of this. It is counterintuitive, and to a certain degree it is counter your biology, but it works. And for that you need solitude. This kind of processes you cannot do with while being engaged also in all sorts of activities. You need solitude. You can do this kind of work with a therapist or a counselor, of course, the professional, but I would say the biggest part of this work is with yourself. Because a counselor, so an external authority can help you as much. They cannot get into your brain, they cannot get into your soul, they cannot change you from within. And the only authentic and sustainable change comes from within. Now, this is the second step. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the need for certainty, and safety. I mean, safety, emotional safety, mental safety. Yeah. And the third step is to set a new intention for your dream profession. So for the dream profession at that moment, because for sure, if we live 100 years, as they say, we'll change our professions every couple, maybe 10 to 20 years. And those who are not able to do that will suffer. So set your intention. And this third step has actually two elements. The first one is to order your subconscious to find the best profession for you at the moment. And you just say something like, find me solution to my quest for a new profession, for a new work environment, for a new workplace. Set the intention. Don't try to control the result. No, just let it go and do something else. No, not let it go. So set the intention. Give me the solution. Give me the solution. I need a solution. Give me the solution. This is all what you have to say. And your subconscious, your individual subconscious, which is connected to what Carl Jung called the collective subconscious, it will find the best solution for you at that moment. Because it connects information which you cannot access with your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is very limited. And it is good for the second step, which is within this third step, for the second phase in this step, which is to create the clear pathway towards your new goal. But the goal itself, allow it to be produced by your subconscious mind. It's the best solution so far. Even if some people say rely on your intuition. It is a tricky one, because our intuition, the intuition is actually the result of our experiences and of some knowledge we have stored subconsciously, and so we don't have access to it consciously. But the problem is that our experiences might have been very bad, very detrimental. So this means that our intuition at times is not very helpful, because it is based to a great degree to that experience, to that which has shaped our, let's say, existential expertise. So it's much better to allow your subconscious, your deep going subconscious, to find a solution for you. And then in the second phase of the third step is to divide the big goal, the big new profession, and how to achieve it into, first of all, into two smaller steps, and then to take each smaller step and divide it into even smaller steps, and then to take each of them for 8 steps actually resulting, and divide them in even smaller steps until you have many small steps which are very, so incremental steps which are very easy to implement. And the advantage of such an approach is that first of all you have divided everything gradually. So if there was some weak points, you have noticed it while dividing it. And another advantage of this approach is that on the way towards your goal, towards finding a new job, towards changing your profession, there will be many external distractions which you cannot control, and they will derail your advancement towards your goal. But because you have these intermediate goals, which, so intermediate small goals, and then intermediate small goals, and then intermediate small goals, and intermediate smaller goals, and so on, they will derail you temporarily, but they won't derail you, first of all, from the next bigger goal, which is actually smaller in comparison to the next bigger goal, and so on. And they will lead you to the final goal. So it's important to have this, on one hand, this cooperation between subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and because in doing so, you can apply this procedure to anything you want to do in your life. You teach your subconscious and your conscious mind to cooperate, and in time, they will cooperate automatically without your intervention, and that is a very fruitful life. I can tell you partially from my own experience. So that would be it for today. I hope I have delivered some insightful ideas which help you build up the life you'd like to have and which you deserve. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you very soon again here. Love and peace to you all.